Hey y'all, if you have not watched the 2025 War of the Worlds, you have to watch it. You have to watch it if you want to waste 2 hours of your time. Well, an hour and a half. The movie is absolutely atrocious. It is horrible. The only reason I'm talking about it, I'm not going to tell you why I'm talking about it for a little bit, okay? Bear with me for a second. I have a story to tell. So a while back, I was just in the car with my friends, and the movie was brought up as a topic, and I said, I've seen it, guys. Oh my god. This is genuinely the worst movie I have ever seen. I could not imagine a worse movie. Like, I genuinely could not think of a worse movie than I've seen than this movie, and The Room is on that list. The Room is on the list of movies I've seen. Granted, the only reason that The Room ranks higher in, like, you know, the ranking of movies is strictly because of its cultural relevance. That is literally it. This movie has absolutely nothing for it. It has nothing for it. And they did not believe me. They did not believe me. They said there is no way that this movie is that bad. Now, a lot of my friends are in tech. I have cybersecurity friends. Well, I guess actually, now that I think about it, all of the people who were watching it with me were in cybersecurity, except one who's developing tech for health stuff. Anyways, we're all rather, like, computer oriented. We know what's going on to, you know, a pretty... to my knowledge, apparently a larger extent than the people who were making this movie. Now, granted, for a lot of the stuff that's in here, you do have to extend your belief for a second so that you can let the movie magic do its thing, but there were some absolutely atrocious offenses in this movie. Like, there were a couple scenes where they quite literally, they pulled up pretty much Google Maps, zoomed in on the map of just all the drones, the military drones that they had flying over DC. This was even before. This was before the War of the Worlds happened. They just had military drones flying over DC. And the big hacker guy literally clicked the drone and then clicked commandeer drone. And then he just had access to it, or like view cams. He clicked commandeer drone later on in the movie. There was another time whenever he needed to log into someone's Microsoft Teams account. He didn't need to, actually. He just wanted to. And when he logged into their Teams account, you know what he did? He went into his command prompt, his terminal, and wrote generate Teams master key. And it gave him a password, and he fed it straight into Microsoft Teams and logged into their account. There are numerous, absolutely atrocious cybersecurity code type just issues with the movie. It makes it so unbelievably bad. But what makes it even worse is that this was a direct to Amazon Prime movie, okay? It went straight to like Amazon Prime Video, I believe is what it's called. It went straight there, okay? And one of the things with this movie is one of the characters, one of the main prominent characters in the movie is an Amazon delivery driver. And during the whole movie, he is hyping up how good he is at delivering Amazon packages. The majority of scenes that you see him in are wearing his Amazon vest, driving in his Amazon truck, delivering packages, or flying the Amazon Prime Air drones. There is a scene where they need to get a flash drive from one location to the other, and he tells them to fly it on an Amazon drone and says the only way to send this drone is for you to submit an official Amazon purchase for this flash drive so that it can be delivered via Amazon to me. And the movie walks you through how to make an Amazon purchase and deliver it with Amazon Prime Air.
It's the future of delivery. They've been training us for months. I need you to place an official order on Amazon to activate the drone.
Nuts.
Now, just imagine this group of guys watching this movie, all right? This is like over an hour into the movie. We're near the end of the thing, all right? We are in our feels, okay? We've been laughing at this movie this whole time because just how absolutely awful it is. And we see the scene on the straight to Amazon Prime Video movie that is literally a tutorial on how to make a purchase on Amazon.com. We are laughing our butts off because this is the most blatant product placement this is the most blatant product placement you could put in a movie. It is disgustingly blatant, okay? And then later on, there's another scene as he's flying the drone to them. I'm going to show this one too. Hopefully I don't get sued.
I'm heading out.
It's literally just a screen that says Amazon Prime Air with the drone. The entire drone sequence, the entire time he is flying that drone in this movie, every single time it cuts to the feed from the drone, it has a big bar at the top that says Amazon Prime Air. Listen, even if this is like, there is no stretch of the imagination that you can make to believe that this is not product placement. Because in what world do you think every single Amazon Prime Air drone operator is going to look at the top top of their monitor and see Amazon Prime Air. That's not going to happen. In fact, he wears a headset. He wears one of those like VR headsets to pilot the drone, like the stunt or the competitive like drone flyers do. His headset's not going to have that on it. He already works for Amazon. He does not need to Amazon does not need to product place to influence their own employees to pay for their own services delivered to themselves. There's absolutely no reason in the real world that would be there. This is strictly here for the movie. I was just in the middle of the edit whenever I was grabbing the scenes for what I was going to show y'all, and I was reminded I came across another scene where the drone, during the process of delivering, flips upside down, lands on the ground, can't fly anymore. The only way in this movie that they figured that they could get this drone flipped back over is if they paid a homeless man money in Amazon gift cards to flip it back over. Nothing else they could have said to convince this man to flip it back over worked, except for offering him an Amazon gift card. That was it.
Wait, give him an Amazon gift card for $1,000. Hurry! Move! Flip over for me, baby. Come on, yes!
Now, imagine my utter bewilderment whenever I see this article this morning. War of the Worlds producer insists that there isn't any product placement in the widely panned reboot. We never intended for Amazon to release the movie. That wasn't product placement. They were not intentionally placing that product. There is no product placement in this movie. They never intended for Amazon to release it. Are you kidding me? I can only imagine that after seeing that, Amazon said, I do not care if this movie is going to be dead awful. We are releasing that. This is some amazing Amazon propaganda. Prime Video's new screen life take on War of the Worlds was widely panned upon its release and has even faced accusations of blatant product placement for Amazon. But producer Patrick Aiello has insisted there isn't any product placement and there never was intended to be any, especially not directly related to Amazon. Amazon didn't see it until it was all the way done. We never intended for Amazon to release the movie, he explained in an interview with Tony's Film Club. We always thought Universal was going to release this movie theatrically. That was never intended to be there. Someone sat down and said, this needs to be in the movie. We need a step-by-step shot of him ordering this flash drive. Then we need the drone pilot to fly the flash drive through the air with the big text Amazon Prime Air at the top of the screen prominently the entire time. He sat down, or not he, she, they, whatever board decided that was going to be in this movie, sat down and said, this needs to be there. We need to show this. It is important to the plot to have this there. The entire character, the entire Amazon Prime delivery driver is incredibly imperative to the plot itself. Now, I don't know why this was ever a decision that needed to be made. Like they decided by some stretch of logic that Amazon Prime Air was the only possible way that they could get a drone in the air to fly something to someone. That's just not the case. Drones are so common, anyone could just buy it. They could have had a kid. They could have replaced him with just a kid that like had a hobby drone and taped it to the drone and flew it to him. They could have replaced it with that, but no, it had to be the Amazon Prime Air delivery driver. In fact, also, this is a huge plot hole in the movie too, because one of the plot points of the movie was that the aliens came to steal our data, and after they stole all of our data, a bunch of the military drones and planes and all of the military operations fell apart because the aliens stole our data. I'm not going to explain to you how that works. The movie doesn't, so I don't need to. But for some reason, this Amazon Prime delivery driver becomes the main savior of the film because he flies his drone to save the day. Granted, the drone that shouldn't have been able to operate because the aliens stole our data. Again, not explained in the movie. Tons of drones and aircraft. They showed beached beach ships. They showed broken down tanks. They showed drones that stopped operating as a result of the aliens stealing our data. Why is it that the Amazon Prime delivery drone still works? In addition, also around this scene, there are B-2 stealth bombers who are also operable, and there are still military drones flying around DC that are still operable. None of that's explained in the movie as to why those specifically still work, but they do. So we can give them a pass. Okay, we can give them a pass, but it still lends in to the major plot point or the major plot hole in the movie. Now, even still, with all that being said, listen to this quote for a second too. The reason Charles and I decided to put the Amazon Prime Air bezel on the drone screen was because we needed to clearly differentiate the otherwise static screens of cubes off the screen, Ayo explained. There are 2 drone feeds in that scene. It was very confusing for a time in the edit when you didn't have the Prime Air overlay. Now, okay, yes, that is true. There are 2 drones. There is the one drone delivering the Prime Air delivery, and there is another military drone shooting missiles at the aliens, trying to make sure that the Prime Air drone made it safely to its destination, okay? But let me show you what those military drones looked like, okay? I want you to see if it would be easy to differentiate between the otherwise clean, colored screen of the Prime Air delivery drone. Just imagine the bezel's not there. Just imagine the Prime Air overlay isn't there. And then look at what the scene with the military drone looks like and see if maybe you'd be able to distinguish what's happening or which drone we're looking at the time.
You gotta hurry, Dave.
Just a few more seconds. This thing's on my tail. A little help here, please.
Don't worry, I got your back.
Yes, Dave, get this thing off.
Just a little quiz. Can you tell the difference? Can you tell which one's the Prime Air one and which one's the military drone? Are you able to tell? Even still, I'm still looking at this footage, right? The military drone footage looks so bad. It is black and white. It is fuzzy. The Prime Air drone delivery is clear. It is in color. I still, like, I can't imagine that they're doing this, like they aren't doing this on purpose. They made the Amazon Prime delivery drone look nice and happy, and the military one look drab and dreary. Even when it's not blatant product placement, they're still placing the Amazon view as higher than everything else. And still, you know, it is so easy to tell which one is the Amazon drone and which one is not. Now, yes, whenever they were developing the movie, as they said, it was confusing for a time in the edit when you didn't have the Prime Air overlay. Yes, okay, I'll give you that. You added the black and white at the very end, okay? You added all of the other overlays at the very end for the military drone. You can still take the Prime Air delivery overlay out at the end. You can still, did you forget about that? Did you accidentally leave that in there? Did you just like finish the movie and said, oh my God, thank God we are done. I hated every minute of this. We just need to get this out. We just need to be done. And you just like, I'm not touching that. I'm not dealing with all that. Even though I'm more than willing to bet it would have just been a couple clicks to remove that. I don't know. It blows my mind that was not product placement, that someone intentionally sat down and said, this needs to be in the movie. And, you know, I think this might lend credence, you know, this might be a little bit of a proof as to what I said at the beginning of this video. This is genuinely the worst movie that I've ever seen. There are so many awful decisions that they made in the production of this movie. I do not know why so many of them made through production. I don't know how this video came out. Like, as the article said, this movie was never meant to see release. Well, actually, I think I'm saying that baselessly because they assumed it was going to be released on Universal and then on Amazon. I can only assume Universal saw this movie and said, we don't want our name on this. Now, it is still in the beginning of the movie and then Amazon got it. I don't know how it ended up on Amazon. This movie should never have seen release unless under Amazon. I can completely understand why Amazon released this movie. They're the heroes. They are legitimately the heroes of this movie. I think this might lend, you know, if you just look at this screen for a second, this got a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 2% tomato meter. It did have a 21% popcorn meter. Hold on, I'm gonna look at the ratings for a second. There's no way that a lot of these aren't satire. This is the best, most beautiful movie I've ever seen. I was deep in depression before I watched it, and I was about to end it, but then I watched this. This saved my life, gave me a new outlook on the world. It made me realize that things can be so much worse. Yeah, 5 stars. Things can be so much worse. Anyways, this was the worst movie I've ever seen, and I am so baffled that of the stuff that's been in this it wasn't product placement. There was no product placement. I am beyond baffled that that's the case. Anyways, that's all. Bye now.